Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So with the holidays approaching, I just felt like it was super important that I do this video just to try and help somebody else. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this is not a video that I'm too excited about doing, just because I don't know, I never want anything that I share about my previous experiences to come off as me trying to bash anybody, or trying to play the victim role or anything like that. But I do think it's necessary for me to share this side of me, because I know how hard it was for me, and I know, like, in those moments I would get on YouTube and try to find another woman that may have went through that, a similar situation, just to draw hope from her. And so I definitely think me sharing my experience is a part of my purpose. It's a part of something that is bigger than me. So I'm really gonna try to put my pride to the side and, like, not worry about what could be taken from this, and just pray that the people that are supposed to see this video will see this video. So the holiday season is definitely here. Thanksgiving is tomorrow by the time y'all see this video. And I often share on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me, because that's where you're gonna get the real tea. But I often share on my Instagram how a year ago things in my life were a lot different. Around this time, I had ended a 10-year relationship. I was in the process of packing up and moving out, which I'll do a video maybe about that. I don't know. But yeah, I was in the process of packing up and moving out. So Thanksgiving for me was just kind of, it was different. And I think last year, how can I explain this? So I saw a quote on Instagram that said, "I'm over him, but I'm not over it." And I really think that was the status of where I was last year, because, I mean, just to be completely honest, we had kind of grown apart. I would say some years before we decided to actually call the quits. And so I just wanted to come on and encourage someone else. I know the holiday seasons can be a tough time. Whether you suffered the death of somebody, a loss of a relationship or a friendship, it can be a weird time. And especially this year with COVID and everything that's going on in the world, I know a lot of people are feeling just the effects of 2020. And for some people that's not a good thing. And so I just wanted to speak from the vantage point, or the perspective of someone that last year, this time, I think the year before last, you might have been experiencing a breakup. And the weird thing about my situation was, we called it quits. I swear to God, we called it quits like a few times before I was actually like, you know what, cross my name off the list, cross my name off the roster, like, I'm out for real. So I guess my situation was a bit different from that perspective, but there were times where I was still fully emotionally invested in our situation. And so the breakup was hard for me. By the time we broke up, I was kind of over it, so it wasn't as bad. But that's neither here nor there. And so I really just wanted to provide what I was looking for when I was experiencing that to someone else. One of the things that really helped me get through the holidays in terms of the breakup, because honestly, my ex was like my best friend. So not only was I kind of grieving the actual breakup, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I feel like by the time we broke up, I was more so grieving the loss of a friend, or who I thought was like a close friend, than I was the relationship. Relationships, I get it, they sometimes don't work out. But when you're in a situation with someone who you consider to also be a close friend, and certain things take place, it's just kind of like that feeling of disappointment or disgust. That's where I was. Like, it was like that feeling. I was just sickened by, like, the point at which we had gotten to. And I remember it was Thanksgiving of last year. I was sitting at our kitchen table. It was Thanksgiving Eve of last year. I was sitting at our kitchen table, and I was just kind of feeling like, yo, what the, like, what's going on here? I remember looking to my left and I could see where I had started like packing my stuff. I had boxes. All of that was sitting over to the side because I was preparing to move. And instead of allowing myself to like get super sad and upset, I remember sitting at the table and I grabbed this notebook right here. And I did something called scripting. Now, scripting is something that I talked about in some of my previous videos. It is a method where it's using your imagination and you write down things as if they existed in the manner in which you would desire. And I remember I sat at that table and I just asked myself, I said, okay, and this was something my therapist had asked me. She was like, if the situation were not to change, if nothing changed about the situation as it stands today, is that something that you could deal with? And of course my answer to that was hell no, like no. And then the next question was, so in an ideal situation, if you could have things be any way that you wanted them to be, even if that meant you weren't with the person that you initially wanted those things with, what would that look like? And so I sat down and I wrote out, it's a fly in this car and it has to go. And I wrote out what that would look like for me. And it's crazy because I'll never forget, while I was writing this, my now ex sent me a text message. He was out, I think he had went to like a game or something. And he had wrote me a message and he was like, I see this family together and it reminds me of us. And I was just like, okay, like, and it was crazy just to see how disconnected I was from that idea of us ever being that. But I needed that to happen just to reaffirm that I was doing the right thing. Okay, so, yo, this is crazy. And I have not read this. I have not read this since I wrote it last year. Oh my God. I'm getting teary-eyed because I can literally remember sitting at that kitchen table and just pouring like everything into this. So here it is. It's right here. And I'm going to read this to y'all. So it was Thanksgiving Eve, which was November 27th, 2019. And I wrote this. God, thank you so much for this life you have given me. I am so happy and full of joy. It is Thanksgiving Eve and I am in the home of my dreams and surrounded by people who are full of happiness and holiday cheer. My husband and I are hosting Thanksgiving dinner at our house, so everyone came over to engage in some family time and help prepare. I must say, my husband is everything I've ever wanted and even what I didn't know I needed. He is also so family oriented, and having all of our family here was just as important to him. I love his confidence and integrity as the man of our home and as my husband. He is such a natural at helping me host our guests. I especially love how he is completely himself regardless of who is around. I find it so sexy how well versed I find it so sexy as to how well versed he is on his alcohol. He is an on occasion drinker and never gets intoxicated. He is so classy and sophisticated. I love how, although my dad is here, he is in no way intimidated. Myself, our mothers, aunts, grandmothers, and sisters are all in the kitchen preparing for tomorrow. Everyone gets along perfectly. I am so close with his mother and his sisters. His brother's wife is also here, and she and I are also close. I just love our family. It's funny watching our mothers interact. They are like old girlfriends. They hang out even when we aren't around. They are so supportive of us, and because they know how important family gatherings are to us, they are also ready and willing to help. The kids, I put the kids, and then I put our child or children. Our nieces and nephews and our puppy are running around having the time of their lives. We let them. No one scolds them. Their laughter and screams make us all happy. The doorbell rings, and Navika, her husband, her child, which is my godchild, and her parents and husband's parents are here. Everyone just falls right into place. Because we are all around each other so much, we are one big family. I've dreamed of this for years, and it's finally my reality. Thank you, God. I've prepared another glass of Moscato and positioned myself in the entranceway to the kitchen just to take all of this in. As I take a sip of my wine and whisk my hair out of my face. You know, you gotta sip your wine and you gotta hit one of those numbers. My husband comes up behind me, grabs my waist, and softly kisses the back of my head. He whispers, "This is what the holidays are about. I love you in this family bond we've created." I smile and we kiss. At that moment, our baby boy, and I put his name, but I'm not going to repeat that because it's real unique and I don't need nobody taking it from me, crawls up to us. My husband picks him up and kisses him and says, I love y'all so much. The night continues with us cooking, sharing stories, laughing and dancing. Our daughter, and I put her name too, is having so much fun with her cousins and god sister, and I put or god brother. Our puppy is excited about all of the guests as well. I'm so grateful. I have so much joy. Thank you, universe. My holidays are very happy now. And I signed my name. And I said, I affirm success in finances to bring all of this to reality. Yeah, I'm so family oriented, so it's super important for me to have somebody that is just as family oriented. And let me be clear, like, this is not saying it's a fire in this car. So when I think about my partner, I think about somebody that, you know, I don't have to convince to be excited about, like, the holidays and, you know, holiday cheer and having our family over. And I just always wanted my house or our house to be like the spot where everybody can come together and just enjoy life, enjoy one another. And of course, things might not happen exactly as I've written them. Like, the general idea of how I want to feel in those moments and how I want to be treated as a wife and as a friend and as a sister-in-law, as a daughter-in-law, like, those things for me are very important. Very important to me that, you know, I get along with my in-laws and that, you know, they see me as one of their own, because I just feel like it makes things a lot easier to have that open line of communication and that mutual love and respect for one another. And so that's what I wrote. And honestly, on days where I may feel discouraged or with the holiday seasons coming up again, to be honest, a year ago, you could not tell me, and I say this all the time because I'm still amazed by it. A year ago, when I was sitting at my table writing that, and I really think I remember crying as I was writing that, just because, again, I could not believe that the reality of, you know, me being so close to having what I thought was going to be a perfect situation, or, you know, not a perfect situation, but, you know, me being so close to having that, the rug was just snatched from under my feet. Like, I had to make a decision that was putting me further away from that being my reality. But now, being a year past that, I can definitely see how everything happens for a reason, y'all. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to not know what's next. But I truly believe if you just take the time to heal and to open your eyes and to be open to new experiences with new people, like, every day you'll be able to see more and more why that situation may not have been the best for you. And this is the analogy that I use and I think about, and it makes so much sense to me. So if you think about a Honda and you think about a Rolls Royce, a Honda can be made in, like, I think it's like 16 hours or 24 hours or something like that, whereas a Rolls Royce typically takes 6 months to build. And so if you think about that in the totality of your life, if you're somebody like me that dreams big and that wants, you know, you just feel like your life is supposed to be this grand experience, and you require certain things from a partner, and you require certain things as far as how you live your life on a day-to-day basis. If you're not somebody that is going to settle for a guy that treats you any kind of way, if you're not somebody that's going to settle for a career that you don't like, it may take longer for you to see those things come to fruition than it would for somebody that is just settling for whatever life gives to them or whatever life throws at them. And so this holiday season, I want to encourage you all by, you know, saying things do get better. I am a living, walking testimony that things do get better. And I have some more videos that I want to do about that, just to, like I said, start really share my story and encouraging people who may be going through similar situations. But things do get better. You just have to continue to set your intentions on things that are beyond what you see in this moment. And I think this is my journal from last year. And I think I may have had, dang, I turned right to it, November 27th. Yep. So, okay. So I actually made a note in here that said that I wrote this journal entry and then I scripted. So I started scripting. And this goes back to, y'all, I'm not telling y'all nothing that I haven't done myself. So I wrote this journal entry and then I scripted, because I'm assuming this journal entry was a little heavy because it's kind of long. And I must have been feeling some type of way. And so after I wrote this, to kind of change my energy and get myself to a place of like feeling happiness, I scripted. So let me read this journal entry to y'all. Okay, the holidays, especially Thanksgiving, feel so depressing. I've laid around most of the day because my body just feels tired, but a few minutes ago I started to cry, realizing maybe I've been carrying that all day. I'm sitting at the kitchen table in complete silence writing this. The bedroom light and the light above the table are on, but otherwise the house is dark and quiet. The silence is so loud. I feel alone and depressed. All I want is to be dancing around the house with a family of my own, prepping for tomorrow. What does it say? This says, prepping for tomorrow. Laughter, music, happiness. But instead, it's just me. I put my ex-boyfriend's name. We'll call him, let's call him, Frank. Frank has been gone all day, and I said I'll explain later. We ain't together, so it doesn't matter, but in this moment, it just reinforces how I feel. And whereas I would usually just FaceTime my best friend, her family is at her apartment for Thanksgiving, so she's spending time with them. And I remember she had invited me to come up, and I was just like, you know what? I just wanted to sit at home and really feel me experiencing this breakup. Like, I needed to be in that moment. And that was different for me. Like, I realized that I used to run from that pain, that emotional pain. So going back to this. And then I said, I can't wait to build my dream home and have everyone over on Thanksgiving Eve. The women in the kitchen prepping and the men, well, doing men stuff. Some wine, good music, kids, and a puppy running through the house. I said, although deep inside my faith in the future, and I put, although deep inside my faith is in the future, that I will have this experience makes me feel somewhat better in this very moment. I feel so hurt and I can't understand why I am this way. And I put family / fun / memory oriented. It's also interesting and eye-opening to see just how fast time really does pass. I remember Thanksgiving last year like it was yesterday. I hosted it here at my apartment, and I get my apartment address. I had my Christmas tree up, and I remember feeling like such an adult. Subsequently, Frank and I had broken up then too. Only difference is we weren't living together like we are now. As sad as I feel like God is gently touching my heart, letting me know that my time is coming. I will experience holiday joy and excitement. And I be remembering stuff. And I said, while I was scripting in my other journal, I got this message from Frank. What? And it said, I remember once upon a time where getting a message like this would have gotten me so excited and hopeful about our situation, but I didn't feel any of that. I wanted so badly to say, well, that ship has sailed. But I've realized my energy and emotions aren't worth even going there, especially when my energy is focused on manifesting the perfect Thanksgiving. I said, thank you, God, for peace and not falling back into that emotional trap. And that's when he had sent me the message about seeing a couple it was like, he had saw a couple with their kids in college or paraphernalia, whatever the word is. And he was like, it reminded him of us. And I was just like, all right, whatever. But yeah, that's just like, that is me, and that's very personal, and I feel completely exposed right now even sharing that. But I know it's important for me to share those things because my story doesn't belong to me. I'm put here to experience certain things, to pull the next woman behind me. And I'm not ashamed of my story anymore, y'all. I'm not. Everything happens for a reason. And so this holiday season, specifically Thanksgiving, if you are experiencing a loss of any kind, journal about better days. Journal about what it's going to look like when you have your smile back. Journal about the good times you experienced with that person and draw from those things. Like, never have any regrets. Even if things didn't work out in a situation, think about all the things that you learned from that situation. I think oftentimes when we go through breakups, we tend to focus on the end of the situation, where we see the person in the most negative light possible, and we forget about, when you first started dating a person, or the years before that when they were an amazing person. And that's why I have nothing bad to say about my ex, and you know, I wish him the best. And it took me a while to get to the point where I could even say that. So, you know, don't be hard on yourself this holiday season. Allow yourself to feel your emotions. Be fully present with the people that you do have in your life that mean a lot to you and that, you know, are important to you. So even if you are spending Thanksgiving by yourself, you know, I've been there before too, where I was just so overwhelmed with everything I was experiencing until I needed to be by myself on Thanksgiving. And I remember, I'll never forget, I went to Wawa and I got one of the turkey bowls that they have, and I sat in my apartment and I ate by myself, and I cried and I reflected. I probably journaled some. This was 2017, because I went to the Escape reunion tour the day before. So again, I'm not telling y'all anything that I haven't experienced for myself. Sometimes in those moments you have to reflect, or you have to be mindful of the things that we have that we tend to take for granted. So I remember being thankful for my apartment. I remember being thankful for the fact that I had a vehicle. I remember being thankful for my health, and the fact that the night before I had an amazing night with my friends at the Escape tour. Y'all know I love music, so I was on a high the night before. And that's what life is really all about. In those moments where we're faced with challenges and difficult situations, just thinking about, one, like where we've come from and the good things that are present in our lives, and then two, being hopeful for the future. I hope that this helps someone out. I hope everyone has a very happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you all in the next video. And I'm gonna just close out with this song, like we at church. You know, you gotta have a closing selection at church after a good sermon. This song is called Again by Faith Evans. Y'all, I done cried to this song so much this year, because just thinking about where I was a year ago today, and not knowing that I could feel this level of appreciation, this level of joy. It's a song that has a lot of meaning. I wouldn't change a thing about my journey. I've learned so much about myself, about other people, about what it means to be single, which, baby, these streets don't play for you. So much about myself, about what I want out of life. And I don't know, it's just a song that I can relate to, and that means a lot to me. So go listen to that. But I'll see you on the next video. Yeah. And even though my money changed, trying my best to stay the same. But you know, with more money, more problems came. If I had to do it all again, I wouldn't take away the rain, 'cause I know it made me who I am. If I had to do it all again, I've learned so much from my mistakes. That's how I know He's watching.